gender equality is now an accepted policy position. You will not read a national development plan by any country which does not speak to gender equality. Indeed, the SDGs, which are the platform for most countries, puts gender equality at the center of it. And I think it is now generally understood that without progress in terms of the situation of women, the progress on the African continent will be very limited. The situation of women in the labor market over the past 15 years, generally it's a good story of progress, but it's progress starting from a very low base. And one has to say, where we are today is not where we should be. We should be much better than this. The majority of the women, in whichever value chain you look at, are in the areas that are most closest to the base of the value chain, whether you talk about cocoa, you talk about textile, you talk about floriculture, you talk about tobacco or agricultural production. In all cases, the majority of the women are at the bottom, where work is precarious, where incomes are very low, and there, therefore, decent work deficits are very high. And in this regard, we have to ask ourselves, how are we going to ensure equal opportunity and treatment of women in the labor market? Really giving opportunities to women and also addressing discriminatory practices in relation to property, matrimonial and inheritance rights, addressing difficulties of accessing financial systems by women, improving mobility, reducing overwork, also tackling poor access to information and business networks. I think all of this, and at the center of it, we have to, when we discuss this situation, come back to the issue of discriminatory inheritance laws and customs, social customs that limit women's ownership of land and other assets, particularly in the rural areas, which are essential elements, assets for women to make progress.